gonna grow cannabis that we're gonna turn into hemp, and we're gonna rebuild neighborhoods.
Okay, wait a minute. So what would these hemps, like, they would replace the 2x4s? So instead of wood,
they'll replace
your house
wood. They'll make the house. They make the homes more
they
economic,
can't smoke
efficient.
the
everything.
walls, can they?
They can't smoke the walls.
Okay,
can't
cool.
Smoke the walls.
Can't let them smoke the walls out. Welcome to expediTIously. I'm your host, Tip T.I. Harris. On this show here, man, what we do is we have interesting conversation with people who can have the discussions that's necessary to push the culture forward. Our guest today is a homeboy of mine, man, but also a cannabis enthusiast, and somewhat of an aficionado now, because he kind of leads the industry for minority ownership in the cannabis industry. His name is Harrington. And for those of you who don't know him, he's an NBA veteran, having played 16 seasons total for the Indiana Pacers, Atlanta Hawks, Golden State Warriors, New York Knicks, Denver Nuggets, Orlando Magic, and Washington Wizards throughout his professional basketball career. And you got a chance to see all sides of this motherfucker.
Man, I moved around a little bit.
Man, while in and after the NBA, Al became a strategic investor in startups across the cannabis market. He is now the founder of the premium cannabis company, Viola Inc. Al is the mastermind behind the brand, named after and inspired by his grandmother. Now, he happened to have told me the story, and it's a pretty dope story. I'm gonna ask him to share it with us. But this phenomenal inspiration of a woman is named Viola Harrington. And in 2018, Al launched Harrington Wellness, a company that manufactures non-psychoactive cannabinoid products, as well as a third company, Butter Baby, that makes cannabis edibles. Now check this out, bro. I could go on and on and on with your accolades and exactly what it is you've been doing since you've been bouncing a basketball up and down the court. But I want you to share with people the story of how you came to be interested in the cannabis industry and how you came to name it Viola.
Yeah, bro. I mean, thanks for having me on the show, bro.
Man,
you know
come on, man.
Obviously, a huge fan of you for forever. Obviously, when I played out here in 2004, I think when we talked, you were saying like that's right when you were starting to take off.
Yeah.
And I remember during that time, you definitely was running the city.
Right on.
And, it's good to see you. 20 years or almost 20
still
years
here,
down the
man.
line.
Just,
that's what I'm about to say.
Much more humble 10
you still
years,
doing
though.
the same thing. That's what I'm about to say.
saying?
Damn, this 16, 17 years later, you still out here running shit. So
Appreciate
you know what I'm saying?
it.
That's amazing, bro. But yeah, for me, man, like start with my beginnings, man. I'm from Orange, New Jersey. My neighborhood definitely was affected by the war on drugs. I seen hella people locked up for weed. I remember, fiends being in my neighborhood and everybody telling me that, those dudes started smoking weed, then it ended up being crack and everything else. So I was always afraid of weed, bro. Like I was afraid of all drugs. And I remember even in 8th grade one time, 2 kids in my homeroom class got, arrested for having like nickel bags of weed in their locker when they did a locker search one day.
Right.
So growing up through high school, the whole thing, I thought weed was the worst thing that you could be a part of, man. And,
The worst?
The worst.
Damn.
I mean, the worst.
But you seen crack too, right?
I seen crack, but I remember as a
You
youngster,
associated
I associated
as a
with
gateway.
That. Exactly.
Got
I was
it.
like, the reason why they started smoking crack was because they started with the weed.
Well, see, this is what I learned from a junkie. He taught me, listen, brother, let me tell you something. Because I offered him some weed because he came to buy some dope.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, damn, bro, I was young, man, about 14 years old.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, man, nah, man, I ain't got no none of that, but I got some weed.
Right.
He said, let me tell you something, young blood.
I ain't got no time.
He said, man, niggas that smoke dope don't want no weed, and niggas that smoke weed ain't supposed to want no dope. Now, you remember that.
Right.
And he left.
Yeah. Well, see, I guess he was lucky enough to have a conversation. I wasn't having no combos with him. But definitely, I remember like also my grandmother kicking my aunts and uncles out the house for smelling like weed. You know what I'm saying? So it's just for me, it was just like a horror story. You know what I'm saying? But when I got to the league, as a rookie in the league, I remember, some of the vets sent me to the store and they told me to go get a list of things. Mm-hmm. And when I bought it back, I walked into a room with a cloud of smoke, and it was weed. And the niggas in there blowing, and we went to practice the next day, and all them dudes that was smoking was the best players in practice, bro.
Now check this out. Now since we speaking on it at this present moment in time, right now, present day, right now in history, the NBA has announced that they will no longer be drug testing for marijuana.
Correct.
On random tests in the NBA. I would have to accredit a large bit of that to you, brother Al.
Yeah, bro. Man, I've been working for my young boys, man. They definitely been like, yo,
you have been
OG, keep pushing,
and
keep
advocating.
pushing. Yeah, and it happened. And you see, like, cause you know they allowed them to smoke weed in the bubble.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And there's some like things that have come out from testing, like soft tissue injuries was down. Cannabis is medicine, bro, and I'm sure we'll get into that as we keep talking. But you know, I think the NBA. I mean, I think they're the last out of all pro sports to enact this in their league. But it's good, man, because these players, man, they should have alternative ways to medicate themselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But what about the NFL?
They don't test. Well, I think they test those guys, but you can no longer be suspended for a game or any of that type of stuff now. You know what I'm saying? But my whole thing is like, why are you still testing them?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
what difference does it make?
Yeah, if it's banned, or excuse me, if you're taking it off the ban list, take it completely off the list. Stop testing them for it. I think they're doing it just, you know how it is, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Any sport where it's the black athletes and all that type of stuff, there's always going to be some type of crazy rules. But like you think about baseball, America's sport, they can do coke, crack, all that. They never get tested for. They don't get tested for street drugs. They don't get
tested for street drugs.
Come on, man.
Baseball don't get tested. Now, this is you laying it on me now, brother. Hold up, man. Breaking news. Wait a minute. Baseball doesn't get tested for street drugs.
They do not get tested for street drugs, bro.
Well, damn.
It's crazy, bro. But you know that league don't look like us.
Well, yeah, not me. No.
Nah, don't. So I think that had a lot to do with it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so like, you know, obviously sports is definitely moving in the right direction, and you know, myself, Steven Jackson, Matt Barnes, a bunch of us ex-athletes, and there's a hell of a lot of NFL players that have been fighting for a long time for this. So it's a beautiful thing, bro.
Man, and so take us back to the cloud of smoke as a rookie.
Right.
So in that moment, right, how do you get from there, not smoking, to actually smoking every now and again, to becoming, you know, the founder of
so for me, bro, so straight up, so obviously I played with Steven Jackson and Matt in Golden State, and them boys smoked the whole time. Even our coach smoked, you know what I'm saying? Even our head coach smoked weed. So one day we were in Phoenix, we had got knocked out of the playoffs or whatever, so everybody all frustrated, and we just sitting in the room, and niggas like, yo, you gonna smoke today, bro. So they had me smoke, man. They had me smoke something that's so strong, bro. I was so paranoid that night, man. I couldn't even go out.
Golden State, bro.
Right, we was in Phoenix when I smoked.
You was in Phoenix, okay.
So it was obviously it was some Cali good.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. It was some good.
Northern California is probably one of the strongest strands where you could find the strongest, most potent.
Hell yeah.
You know.
So just imagine that being your first time smoking.
High dims.
You mean? So I was finished. So obviously, man, like, so the experience wasn't good for me, to be honest. I was like, I'm cool on weed. And then fast forward, I signed with the Denver Nuggets, and my grandmother come to see me play at the end of that year. And bro, it was amazing. It was a miracle just to get her on the plane, because she's so old school. She only liked to either fly, you know, take the train, a bus or something.
Right.
But she said she'd get on the plane and come see me. And when she got there, you know, took her bags downstairs, brought her bag back up, put it on the counter, and she comes back upstairs. She opened the bag, bro, and it was like pills everywhere, bro. It was like, so she took about 30 pills. Now I have no cap. Took about 30 pills. So I'm asking, I'm like, Grandma, why are you taking so much medication? And she's like, you know, I got high blood pressure, diabetes, glaucoma, all that. So when she said glaucoma, literally 2 days before that, I was reading the newspaper how, you know, cannabis helped with glaucoma patients.
Right.
So I started giving her the, you know, education on it. And, you know, she was like, well, what is cannabis? And I was like, it's marijuana weed. She's like, reefer?
I ain't smoking no damn reefer.
I ain't smoking no damn reefer. You out your mind. She said, reefer ain't gonna do nothing but make me hungry. So she shut me down. So next day,
she done smoked something before.
Right.
So
what she told me was she smoked a cigarette when she was 16 years old. So
a cigarette.
That was the first thing. Only probably was a cigarette, a joint cigarette.
They used to call them left-hand cigarettes back in the day, man. You know what I'm saying?
So next day I come home and she in the kitchen, and you know, she's sitting at the table like this, you know, covering her eyes. And I'm just like, what's up, Grandma? And she's squinting. She's like, that's you, baby doll? Call me baby doll. I'm like, yeah. She's like, my eyes hurt so bad today I can barely see. So I said, well, Grandma, I got this cannabis. I'm like, the doctors is saying, like, it cures you. Like, why don't you give it a try?
Right.
And she's like, so we talking. Finally, I convinced her. She's like, I'm in so much pain today, I'll try anything. Damn. So I called my homeboy. He go to the dispensary, bring back Vietnam Kush, what the strain was. We vaporized it for her in a volcano bag. Had her try it. I take her downstairs. I go take a nap. Wake up an hour and a half later. Go downstairs. The door's closed. Knock on the door. Poke my head through the door. I'm like, Grandma, how you doing? Her back was to the door. She looking down. She turns around. No bullshit. She's crying tears. She says, I'm healed. You know, I haven't been able to read the words of my Bible in over 3 years.
Dang.
And I go in the room and like I'm looking at it, but she's like bawling. So I hug her and she makes me cry. So now we both sitting here crying.
Oh.
And I call my mom.
Ain't
and
that
I was
sweet.
like,
man, crying with
bro,
his grandma. How can you not like this guy?
Any
man?
family members cry, bro. I'm soft like that.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
But man, we sitting there, man. And,
it's actually a strength.
Is it?
It's actually a strength. You know what I mean? To be vulnerable enough and, you know, let something tether at your heartstrings enough for you to feel real emotion. That's actually a strength.
Yeah,
we're manipulated into thinking otherwise because, you know, of the environments we have to endure. But, you know, as we get older, we understand vulnerability is a strength.
Nah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'll embrace it.
Right on.
For sure. So I call my mother, and she's like telling my mother like how everything is so bright and she can see again.
Right.
And that's what started for
Vietnam
me, bro.
Kush, that was a hell of a strain.
Vietnam, bro. Vietnam. I ain't been able to find that strain either. Cause I'm like, it must cure glaucoma because it helped her. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's what started, bro. And I started educating myself. And a year later, bro, I made my first investment in a cultivation in Colorado, a 12,000 square foot building, and built it out. We only had 40 lights in the beginning, and you know, me and my cousin, and you know, he had some experience growing, but not at scale like that. He used to growing in a closet or in a basement, and we took some ups and downs, bro, for like 18 months, almost 2 years. We lost some crops. It was a lot of up and down, but you know what, man? At the end of the day, I think God really was on my side on this whole thing, because he never allowed me to quit. You know what I'm saying? Like every time a hurdle or obstacle got in the way, I just felt like it was a learning lesson. And here we are. 10 years. My next year is my 10-year anniversary. I've been in the game 10 years, bro.
That's fine. Now, I mean, the cannabis industry, you know, since the legalization recreationally in so many of our states here, it became somewhat of a taboo industry for minorities. It's not, you know, it seems like they kind of trying to block us out of it.
Right.
How did you manage to break through that, you know, the yellow tape and get in there?
Well, man, first, I mean, I gotta be always honest, bro. I had resources. I had my own money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
do it.
I put up $2 million on my own money before I took $1 from anybody.
Yeah.
And I definitely had, you know, some of my teammates in the locker room wanting to invest.
Right.
But you know, I didn't take their money because I wasn't absolutely sure what I was doing.
Right.
So I didn't want to lose relationships, and you know what I'm saying, over, you know, failing at a business opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So I put up my own bread, bro. And you know, that was obviously the difference between me. But at the end of the day, what's up in the industry is like, it's a cash business. You can't go to the bank. You can't get loans.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have to know somebody that got the money to actually, you know, loan it to you, invest or whatever, for you to participate. Every other business, you go to the bank and get a loan. You get a lien on it.
Not many for black people.
Exactly. You know, but
don't do that much for us. We don't usually have to put our own money up to in whatever industry we in.
Yeah, that's a fact. I mean, I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, you know, at least the banking is around for some industries.
This
like,
true.
Zero.
This is true.
In cannabis.
I mean, at least, you know, you can secure your funds, and you know what I mean, they won't even let you do a safe deposit box in a bank, would they?
Nah, not with cannabis.
Not with cannabis.
Nah, now that they know cannabis is affiliated with it, you can't get a safety deposit
Ain't
box.
that some shit? That's horrible. So they basically want to leave you out to dry to get robbed.
And that's a whole nother step. Like, you know what I'm saying?
What the fuck?
Right. It's all.
So you can't get a bank account so Viola, as big as a brand you are, you can't have a bank account.
Well, now we have bank accounts. So when I first started, hell no, it wasn't even an option.
Got it.
Now, with all our big banks, the Bank of Americas and all them, they don't touch cannabis.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now you have to do it through credit unions. That's the only way you can get some type of banking. But even when you use them, it's expensive. Like shit, like anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500, you have to pay the bank a month just to
hold your money.
Just to hold your money.
Are you serious,
bro? Then in Colorado, it was so crazy. At one point, it was like every $20,000 you put in the bank, they charge you a percentage of that to hold your money.
They charging you money to put money in the bank.
In they bank.
Man, that's a cold game.
It's a cold game, bro.
Damn.
It's a cold game. But what you gonna do? You don't want to get caught out here with millions of dollars sitting in your warehouse with the weed. You know what I'm saying? You got to figure out somewhere to put it. But yeah, so it's a lot of challenges in the industry, but it's getting better every day. You know what I'm saying? There's some bills and stuff that's on the table where they're trying to open up.
They just passed one where they federally decriminalized.
Yeah, it's called the MORE Act.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know.
How does that affect the industry?
We gonna see, man. Like, you know how it is with everything, right? You know, everything has some good and some bad to it, right?
Right.
So the good side of it, obviously, is gonna, expunge records.
Okay.
It's gonna allow cannabis to be decriminalized
now,
federally.
Now check it. In a sponging record, does the retroactivity allow for someone who, say, may have done fed time on 2 different bids, just for weed though? Mm-hmm. Would that allow them to expunge their record so they then could participate in the cannabis industry?
That's the intention.
As an expert?
That's bro. That's
a well-studied expert.
Yeah. That's the intention. That's it. That's the intentions of it. You know what I'm saying? What we're trying to do is trying to get to the point where we can allow these people who lost their freedom for something that was so demonized and whatever to now that is a billion-dollar industry for them to be able to participate.
Approaching trillions.
Oh, it's gonna be trillions. I think it's gonna be bigger than liquor, and it might be bigger than pharmaceutical, which is crazy.
Damn. I mean, man, I was talking to my partner, man, who he did 2 bids on some on a bunch of weed and shit, and he was wondering, so you mean to tell me this is gonna let me expunge my record?
Yes, sir.
So I can sell this shit legally now?
Yeah.
I said, yeah, I think
actually, he want to work with us at Viola.
You know what? I think he'll take you up on that.
We need all the experts that we could get. Like, for real, man, they are the experts. Like, bro, let me tell you, I got mad stories, but like, when I first came in, Tip, the industry used to shun the people that sold weed before the industry. And I'm like, yo, how y'all? That's the entrepreneur, bro. Them niggas, they made billions in the black market. Man. I want them on my team. I want that kind of entrepreneur working with me.
Yeah.
But instead, they tried to push them out, and that's why a lot of those companies, to me, they raised $50, $100, $200 million, and they didn't have anybody from the industry, and that's why a lot of them are out of business.
Right. So what was the real turning point for Viola? When did you recognize that, okay, we have something, when it like shot into high gear?
For me, man, I think it was in 2014, into 2014.
Okay.
And for me, it was when I finally got my cultivation dialed in.
Got it.
Like when I finally realized, or we had our team really realize that we knew how to grow cannabis.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And cannabis at a high level. And then we also decided to be a concentrate company, which at the time in Colorado was only 5% of the industry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So taking that chance.
Is this Viola?
Yeah.
Is
definitely
this?
Viola.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Let me
see. I mean, well, thank you for what you have. You brought some fine samples that we will be sampling here.
I'll light up with you too.
Mm-hmm.
Got the Viola Master Leaf we about to smoke on real quick. This is a
grabber leaf. I don't know what strand is this?
Grabber. That one right there is Jump Shot OG. So it's a nice OG for you.
Jump Shot OG.
Yeah.
Tastes pretty good.
Should get you right.
Let's see.
How you flying?
So listen, man. Like, what's the process to selling legal weed? I mean, I know how the shit's done on the old-fashioned way, but like, what's the process now?
Well, the process is not.
I'm talking about farm to table. Goddamn. I mean, it's soup to nuts.
I mean, the only difference is now is I own it, right? Or people like black people or entrepreneurs.
So you just go to growers, basically. You go straight to the growers and say, "Yo, let me get 2 tons."
Nah, I grow my own stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm a real operator in this thing. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that have approached it that way, but
a lot of people that have approached it which way?
In regards to, like, I'm just gonna pull up on somebody and say I want 2 tons or whatever. But in some market, I think at the end of the day, it just depends on what market you in, right? Every market is different, right? A market like California is pretty tough to go that white label. It's called white labeling. To take it in that approach because the price of weed is like the stock market. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, pre-pandemic, like fire product, we can get it for like $2,000 to $2,400. Now, since the pandemic, since end of March.
What you talking about exotic?
I'm talking about exotic.
Exotic for 2?
Exotic for 2 to $2,400. You can get exotic. Now, that shit $3,600 to $4,800.
Damn.
So at the end of the day, just imagine you built your business on buying your exotic at $2,000, $2,400. Now the market's telling you got to pay $3,600, $4,800.
I would be upset.
You got upset, and you out of business. You can't buy it.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of it, especially in legal cannabis, because now you got to pass on that new price point to the customer. They used to buy your shit for $50 an eighth. Now you tell them you got to spend $80. It's hard to convince people to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that, you know, in certain markets, meaning like California, you got to grow your own shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're in the process right now, finding our own cultivation. Right now, we are white labeling, but we white labeling with partners where we actually give them the genetics. So I give them the jump shot genetic. You know what I'm saying? I give them the grandma.
So you basically create the strand and give it to them to scale.
To cultivate it for me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Then I buy it back.
So you get a little bit of, you say, here, I need a ton of this.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's how I'm operating in Cali.
Gotcha.
But everywhere else we are, Oregon, I grow it all myself.
Okay.
Colorado, I grow it myself. Michigan, I grow it myself. And soon to be Maryland and Missouri, I'll be cultivating all that shit myself.
Huh. Well, congratulations, man. One time for the black man selling weed the right way. You dig what I'm saying?
Man.
Not many times you see that. You dig?
Right.
I done seen a lot of niggas sell weed. I ain't seen many sell it the right way. You dig what I'm saying? Seen a lot of weed men in my life. Here you go, cuz. I done seen a lot of them, but you know, I must say, you put a new spin on that motherfucker. That staying out of jail shit, that shit is innovative.
Man. I work too motherfucking hard to go to jail at this point, goddamn.
That staying out of jail shit, but that was the kicker.
Right.
A lot of niggas did it. They ain't got shit on you. I'm gonna tell you that, bro. Yes, sir. So what do you think it's gonna take to have more minority inclusion in cannabis?
Man, bro, I think that if we're gonna wait for the government to do it, I don't think it's ever gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? I think it goes back to even, you know, we've been wanting retributions for forever, right? I understand that Indians get it in some cases.
I think we gotta attack the things we can attack, bro. I think we gotta use what we can use. Like right now, while the court of public opinion will close corporations, we need to use that.
Right.
That's what the whole Lords of London thing is about, man.
Right.
Simply because, would you like a drink?
Yeah, I like a drink.
All right, cool. If a corporation has basically built its empire on the backs, blood, and bondage of many generations for 400 years, you've amassed this fortune. Now at a time people actually are bringing themselves to some form of morality or integrity. We can't just look back here and forget about, you don't get to live free of guilt without making some form of retribution to the people you've wronged. Right. You must make amends and make some form of retribution. Hold yourself accountable. You can't just keep it pushing and expect for it to go away. So now what we have the world watching what is right, what is not.
Right.
So we gonna have to really, I believe that if we all stand together and apply pressure to the people who were involved, starting with Lloyd's of London, you know, because they have already admitted to wanting to be better.
Right.
They've already taken the necessary steps. They've acknowledged. They've accepted. They just have not, like, said they were gonna do nothing about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, yeah, I hit your car. Yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah, I'm sorry about it. See you tomorrow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That ain't the way the shit work, bro.
Right.
And you can't tell me what you gonna do for me to make what you did wrong to me right.
Right.
I don't know if that make any sense.
That make a lot of sense.
Okay, like, if you fuck me over, you don't get to tell me what it takes for me to be okay and forgive you for fucking me over. You must sit down with me and allow me to tell you what I feel it takes. Because I was on the receiving end.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You don't get to tell me. You need to sit down with me. You need to listen to me. And you need to allow me to tell you.
Right.
So this way we can move forward with clarity. And I think that's where the conversation left off with me and Lloyd's of London. But you know what I'm saying?
But bro, to your point, like, you know, when you think about it, like you said, Lloyd's of London is the first corporation, but to me, there's no corporation in this country that don't owe. That's just
You
first.
dig what I'm saying?
Second,
hey man, let's toast to that, man. No,
Yeah,
no
bro.
corporation in this country that don't hold. You dig what I'm saying? Smoke some Viola.
But listen to this,
Man,
tip.
smoke some
But
out.
listen to this. And let me put that same scenario into cannabis, right?
Just move close to the mic.
All right. And cannabis, what's going on is there's something called social equity.
Okay.
Right. So when you go and look at these limited licenses states, like you'll look at a state like Florida or Illinois, right? They gave out 25 licenses, right? Gave them to all people that don't look like us, don't look close to us. You understand what I'm saying? So before they got these licenses, these people had to write these programs in regards of like how they were gonna give back to the communities and different things like that, right?
Right.
That it was a scoring system on it. So if you said whatever, I was gonna do all this different shit. But my point being is like at the end of the day, how do you score something talking about and give them a good scoring, saying how they're gonna give back and affect the black community when they not from the black community?
That's real.
Nobody's in the room from the black community.
That's real.
Then you take it a step further. These companies have been operating and making millions of dollars, and there's been nobody holding them accountable to do anything that they said in any of those programs. They're not providing no new opportunities. And then if they do, bro, you know how much it'd be? $30,000. Let me tell you what. Let me tell y'all what $30,000 can get you in cannabis.
What?
Nothing.
What you mean $30,000? Well, I don't know, man. I can go. Give me 30. I can go get us a few.
Not in legal cannabis. 30 bands ain't gonna get you nowhere, Tip.
Well, why you gotta add that part to it? You know what I'm saying? See,
right? You give me
my
30
way
bands,
sounds
right?
so much better. I'm just bullshitting. These are jokes.
We don't need no issues.
These are jokes.
But yeah, bro. So it's like, so when I look at these programs, I'm just like, because I know I'm in it, and I just know like $30,000 can't incubate no programs. It's
Right.
impossible. You know what I'm saying? So
What about like
it's
teaching?
smoke and mirrors.
What about teaching cultivation? Have they allowed those programs to kind of teach people how to grow?
They supposed to, but once again, like we haven't seen them. You know what I'm saying? Like where's the talent? Where's the talent? You know what I'm saying? From what I see,
The only good is what you can produce.
bro.
All right.
I still don't see a lot of us in the space. I still don't see a lot of us at the table.
So you're the only person of color on the board of MedMen.
Correct. And
That's a big fucking company, bro.
it's a big company.
How'd you get on the board of MedMen? What the fuck?
Man, I wanted to so obviously once again give you all a game. Like MedMen is a company at this point, like it started off as being huge and whatever, right? They had poor leadership. The way it was run just wasn't right. They were trying to take advantage of a lot of opportunities, and they definitely tried to take advantage of black people through the social equity licenses in Los Angeles.
Okay.
So what happened was the company was, hanging by a thread. As big as it was, as much revenue it was creating, it was on a thread. So some people came in, made a new investment, moved all the old leadership out, and now they have this new team in. So obviously when you think about it, you want to have a diverse board, right? So we need a black man. We need a black person, right? And a lot of times they would go after a token black person. But it wasn't token in my participation on MedMen.
Well, no, I mean, you actually had the stats. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
you had you justified it with the performance of your own personal brand.
Exactly. And on our board right now, I am the only person on the board with cannabis experience. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else come from different places like Whole Foods and all these different these different industries.
So you sit on the board in your hoodie and your baseball cap like that?
Yeah. I gotta bring the culture, bro.
That's right.
I got to. I'm not wearing no suits, none of that.
That's what's
This
up.
is what you get. This is at the end of the day. They want our drip anyway, as you know. I'm even gonna go down that road. But they really want to put on a hoodie and jeans too. You know how that go.
They look green.
But they want
Yeah,
to.
look, they wouldn't even look right. You know what
They
I'm
want to
saying?
though, Tip. You know that.
I mean, yeah.
But I did it because one of the things I'm passionate about obviously is the inclusion, and we want shelf space. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of dope black owned or minority brands that need to be on MedMen shelves, in my opinion.
Okay.
And I really feel like
So how big is MidMan, if you could just like put it in context for us?
So I mean, at one point they were huge, bro. Like they were worth almost $2 billion.
Sheesh.
You know what I'm saying? Now it's worth like 100.
100 million?
Yeah.
That's a phenomenal drop. How did they fall so? And now they come get you,
Bro, it's all right. But you know what, Tip? At the end of the day, bro, it's a learned experience for me.
But how's it like? I respect the fact that they were able to pivot, recognize the error in whatever ways of their poor performance before, and was thoughtful enough to reach out to people like you and kind of direct a new path for themselves. I can respect that.
Yeah.
Do you see any exponential growth since since you're
since I've been there, I think it's now maybe like 5 months or whatever. I feel good about the turnaround. I think it's actually gonna come out.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's actually gonna end up, being potentially reaching this potential. You know what I'm saying? Like 7-8 months ago, it was a chance that it was like done. You know what I'm saying? Going bankrupt, but we made some changes, sold some different things, and at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? It's becoming a solid business.
Right. Well, tell me this, man. Of all of the products you offer, what is your favorite method of consumption? Joints, vape, edible.
So I would say 3 years ago was all concentrates. So concentrate,
the wax shit,
like the wax and all that. That was my shit. It's just because obviously it's way stronger. Obviously,
I'm
flavors,
cool.
the flavor profiles on it. To me, it's just a it's a different high. But once I moved to, once I started to launch Viola in California, I started smoking way more flower. You know what I'm saying? I think it came from a lot of R&D. In the beginning, just always testing product or what product we wanted to buy, or whatever. And now I'm a flower guy, and I prefer pre-rolls. You know what I'm saying? I prefer to have it rolled up for me already.
Convenient.
So a lot of time, big shout out to my nephew Najee. He roll all my joints for me or whatever. So
right on, nephew Najee, man. So, man, let's toast the nephew Najee, because we need people like them, man. That's my cousin Javon. He rolls mine for me.
NR.
You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Is this the same? What is this? What strain is this I'm smoking?
This one right here is we're not supposed to tell you, but it's in the Sherb family.
It's in the Sherb family.
So like a sherbet family.
Let's see your lighter there.
Has a gelato cross in it.
A gelato cross.
So it's a nice hybrid. I call it mellow because I feel like when you smoke it, it mellows you out. What I like about it too is no matter how much of it you smoke, if you got to get busy and actually do something, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? So it don't get you all stuck in the couch and can't think and can't get nothing done.
I never had the weed.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't never had nothing that strong?
Hell no.
Well, I've seen it do it to people though.
For real?
Oh man, I've seen hella.
I might take a nap, but I wouldn't be stuck in the couch and can't go nowhere, can't move. I wouldn't do that.
That's why you don't dab.
Nah, hell nah. I ain't finna do no dab. And I don't do edibles.
You don't do edibles at all?
Hell no.
Well, they got micro dosing now.
I don't trust it.
Yeah.
Because you can't.
You can now. Technology's way better. You can know exactly what you're getting every time now, bro. You right. A couple years ago though, that's why I ain't do edibles.
Especially if they bake it.
Yeah, I don't mess with them.
You put that shit in the oven. That shit has a whole another level of potency.
Once again, listen. That's why I hear people like you. I hear the customer and I hear their concerns. So that's why I invested in a butter company.
Oh, shit.
Butter Baby.
Okay.
So now what you could do is you could for sure take your little scooper and know you're gonna get 5 milligrams of THC or CBD
of whatever strain you choose.
Of whatever strain that is in the butter for the most part. So in the butter we just do it by indica, sativa, or hybrid. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So if you want the downer, you want the upper, you want that mellow as I call it. You know what I'm saying? You choose which butter you want to use, but now you could use get proper dosing or whatever. So, just always trying to figure out. My biggest thing I just feel like in cannabis is just trying to figure out how you can allow our patients or our customers to have the best experience possible. You know what I'm saying? Because cannabis is really a beautiful thing. And, if it's consumed, properly, you know what I'm saying? I think it could heal the world. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
Man, wouldn't that be ironic if weed would heal
Tip,
the
just
world?
Imagine, seriously, Tip. Like, as much as you like weed, bro, seriously. Imagine you smoke weed every day with all your counterparts, like not your just people in general. Okay. Bro, it's a connector. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many people are you probably friends with because of a joint? If you had to think about it, that a joint actually brought you guys together.
Well, a joint actually led to me saving the life. Actually, it was a blunt, but my partner Phil and I was smoking. We had just gotten to Miami, and we stepped out to smoke on the balcony, and a gentleman had jumped from higher up trying to kill himself, I guess, and landed. You know how sometimes the balconies have half of a cover, so as you walk out of the sliding door, it may be covered, but 2 more steps, and that's exposed before you get to the banister. So we kind of step over and look up, and it's a guy, and he's like trying to get up. He's groaning and moaning. And you know, first we heard that. We just heard the sounds. And me
you thought you was too high first?
Yeah, I did.
Shit.
I did. I thought Phil was hungry. I said, "You hungry, nigga? What the fuck is that?" Nigga, did you fart? So we turned around and look up, and it was dude, and he was just like, saying stuff that wasn't making much sense, but you know, it was like, yo, just chill, bro. And then, you know, he obviously wanted to be heard, so we let him talk. And I was like, man, just let me get you some help. You know what I'm saying? Right. And he was like, nah, I'm gonna keep jumping. He was trying to get up to keep jumping. I said, no. He couldn't even stand up on his legs. I was like, nah. Phil was like, you wanna hit this?
Say that bad life.
Some shit like that. So we has done some shit like that. But
bro,
he eventually let us call the people to come get him now.
Bro, I'm telling you, man.
That was Scott Stapp, the lead singer of Creed, by the way.
No shit.
He told that story. You know, it happened a long time ago, like 2005, and we hadn't told it. And then he wrote a book because he changed his life, turned his life around and shit. I think his girlfriend had been fucking off on him with one of his buddies or something.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, it was a very bad time for him.
Right.
And he turned his life around, wrote a book, and he told the story.
Right.
The shit was crazy. I didn't know who he was at the time. I just thought, you know what I'm saying, it was a guy who had hurt himself and he turned out to be the lead singer of Creed.
That's crazy. I fuck with Creed music at one point. I did.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying? You know, pain usually makes the best music.
That's what I heard.
Like, you know what
I heard for artists, is that true?
Nobody
like,
wants to hear a happy ass album. Like, you just imagine a happy album. Nobody wants to hear that shit.
Right.
Riding around happy all day and shit, man.
That ain't real life, man.
It's like it's a season of the Smurfs.
Right.
Goddamn Care Bears compilation.
Right.
But nah, man, I do think that all of the process of like finding happiness, the process of, you know, searching through your pain and enduring tough moments to find your way to peace of mind, to find your way to, that shit is a process, it's a journey. So, you know, it ain't like you get there and stay there. You know, you constantly work at it and kind of, you look up for a minute and you feel like, yeah, here we are.
Right.
That's what they be talking about. Then it's off to goddamn finding it again.
Right.
So, I think when you go through that shit and you actually document every moment, because as the situation changes, the circumstances change, your actions change, your perspective of it changes. So catching you in the moment while you feel how you feel and have you document that shit and like put it to music and shit.
Right.
That shit, like when I listen back to, let's just say, trap music, I'm serious, I hear the perspective of somebody who was stepping into a world they had no clue what to expect. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, I'm here and I'm gonna, you know, go for mine. And then, you know, you go to places like T.I. versus T.I.P. or Paper Trail. It was more like I got in this shit and it wasn't all I expected.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then you listen to shit like Dime Trap or The Libra, and then it's like, I'm in this shit. First thing I know, don't set any expectations.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
One thing I learned from all this time, don't set no expectation, bro. That's the first way to be disappointed. Right. Take what the universe give you, use it to the best of your ability. You know what I mean?
Right.
And keep it pushing. You know what I mean? What did you learn? You think? What do you think you brought from your years in the league into your entrepreneurship or into the cannabis industry?
Oh, the main thing is the grind, like the work ethic. You know what I'm saying? Like, quick background on me, like in hoop, like I ain't hooping until I was a freshman in high school. I had a growth spurt, so I grew from 5'10" to 6'4" in one summer, and I moved. So when I moved to the new city, Roselle, New Jersey, when I got to school as a freshman, everybody just thought I hoop, but just ain't never heard of me. Like, big, tall niggas, blah, blah, blah. So football was my first love. So I played freshman football, then moved up to JV, and the JV coach made me hoop. So I went from never playing basketball to being the worst player on my team as a freshman, and in 3 years' time being the #1 player in the country.
Damn.
And the reason why I was able to do that is because of how hard I worked. You know what I'm saying? Like, I stayed in the gym. Like, I ate, slept, drank basketball. You understand what I'm saying? And I saw the success that I was able to have, getting to the league out of high school, and then playing for 16 years. You know what I'm saying? And my biggest thing, the reason why I was able to play that long is because I always had the perspective of, like, somebody, a young boy is trying to take my job. Because I remember as a rookie coming in the locker room and looking at Dale Davis and Reggie Miller and all them dudes and thinking to myself, like, I'm better than them. You know what I'm saying? So I just always remember that, and remember that the next kid coming behind me is going to look at Al Harrington like, Al Harrington really ain't that good. I'm going to take his spot. So I took that same attitude into cannabis.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, bro, like, I'm never satisfied. You know, you can ask the team. Like, they always like, bro, you got to really take a step back and, like, acknowledge what you've built. But for me, it's just always, I'm just always thinking there's somebody coming.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
well, it always is.
It is, exactly. So I think that's what I bought into cannabis, to the point where, like,
tenacity.
I'm not gonna become complacent, and my team not gonna be complacent. If y'all think we arrived, then y'all shouldn't work for this company no more. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we gotta keep pushing this thing, and especially because being a black company, we gotta be 10 times better than those other companies anyway.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So I gotta, like, that's gotta be the attitude of the team. Everybody gotta be ready to rock.
Man, you're doing a damn good job, I must say. I have a question. What do you think about Oregon legalizing crack?
So I'm announcing on the show, we opening up a meth shop on 103rd.
God damn.
But nah, it's crazy.
You scared the shit out of me. Man, I looked at you like, huh? Cut the tape. God damn.
Bro, number one, I mean, to me, man, when you just think about it, bro, just put in perspective. Like, if I have a drug problem, right, I need help. I don't need prison.
Right.
So you send the niggas to jail because they choose to smoke weed or smoke crack or whatever. Like, to me, once again, is that free labor shit. That's the business side of the jail industry.
Absolutely. So
what I like about Oregon is they're very proactive, and they feel like they tired of that shit. They gonna move away from that. You know what I'm saying? So hats off to Oregon. We have a business in Oregon. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question. So you can open up a legal crack house in Oregon?
You can't open. I don't know if you can distribute.
A legitimate crack house.
Oregon. I don't think so, because I don't think you can distribute it. I think that's what they're gonna lock you up for.
Got to call that motherfucker bando.
Exactly.
Got to call it the legal bando.
I ain't gonna try it. But I'm
sure nobody should try it. But I'm just wondering, unless you're in Oregon, you know what I'm saying? You
good to get caught with it, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy. A legal crack house.
A legal crack house, bro.
It should definitely have a drive-through.
Crackheads got cars?
What? Shit. Are you kidding me? Crackheads got jobs.
They got everything.
You know what I'm saying? And the ingenuity, or the drive and the will of someone who don't have no money ever in their pocket but find a way to smoke all day, that shit takes ingenuity. That shit is that's
a talent.
I mean,
that's a drive.
I think it's a gift. I think it's a gift, bro. If you wake up on E every day and spend $50 on crack, still,
every day,
how in the fuck can you not make it to the Fortune 500? You know what I'm saying? It's your environment, what you've been exposed to, what you expect of yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. So I think the best thing that I see you doing is setting an example.
Thanks, bro.
You know what I mean? Setting an example first for young men who may have a skill or a love for sports like basketball, but to see that on the other side of that career, you have to kind of have the forethought to know how to continue your legacy.
Bro, we special people, man, and we just, to your point, like, it's just been 400 years of keeping us down that we don't acknowledge that. You know what I'm saying? Is, when you think about all these other industries and inventions and different things like that, bro, it was black people in them rooms, bro.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? But we never get none of the credit, so they don't never let us know how special we are. Like, we are brilliant. We are the original. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's tough. So now it's on us, people like that have a platform, to continue to preach that to the youngsters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We have to let them know, like, listen, this is our time in America. We have resources. You have support. You know what I'm saying? Meaning us. You know what I'm saying? And we have to continue to push them and start holding them accountable to be better. You know what I'm saying? Because I think we could actually do it, because I've seen
life is
a lot
about
of lives
leverage.
I've changed, bro. I've seen it.
Life is about leverage. I mean, like you said, you have not only changed those lives, but you've had success. That success gives you a certain amount of leverage.
Right.
You use that leverage for what you know to be good. You know what I'm saying? That's what changes the world. You dig what I'm saying? All of us have skills and talents and abilities and whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, that gives us a certain amount of leverage in whatever it is that we do. We use that leverage to affect the world in a way that will benefit people besides us. That's what changed this motherfucker. That what keep this motherfucker pushing.
Nah, for sure.
You know what I mean? And that what you doing. I appreciate it. I salute it.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Love.
Yes, sir.
Now that, you know, I'm an ambassador here at Viola, and, you know, took long enough, because I will also say that the first person who ever told me about the company was Big Will.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Big Dog, the first person who ever, you know what I'm saying?
Big Will that owned Roses and Restaurant 10?
Yeah, Roses and, Restaurant 10, right.
Oh, North Side Drive.
A stone's throw from the Mercedes-Benz Dome. But
sure.
yeah, he put me up on y'all a long time ago, man, when I hadn't really, scratched beneath the surface in the industry. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
Money was hitting me in the face from the other side of the room. I hadn't got to it yet. You know what I mean? But since I'm there an ambassador, can you tell everyone what we'll be doing with Viola Cares?
Yeah, bro. I mean, we just gonna really just it's gonna have a lot of different focuses, but it's all gonna be focused on economic empowerment and creating opportunities for people that look like us.
That's right.
I have a crazy vision of, like, rebuilding our neighborhoods with hemp. With hempcrete, you know what I'm saying?
You say with what?
With hemp.
Hemp,
which is cannabis.
Okay, I understand.
We're gonna grow cannabis that we're gonna turn into hemp, and we're gonna rebuild neighborhoods.
Okay, wait a minute. So what would these hemps, like, they would replace the 2x4s? So instead of wood,
they'll replace
your
wood.
house
They'll make the homes more
they
economic,
can't smoke
efficient.
The
everything.
Walls, can they?
They can't smoke the walls.
Okay,
can't
cool.
Smoke the walls.
Can't let them smoke the walls out.
Can't smoke the walls.
Pinch a little 3-5 out of here, man. Just get my mind right.
But yeah, bro, we gonna rebuild parks.
Right.
We're gonna create different programs, and the biggest thing we're gonna do is we're gonna educate. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be the main thing. We just got to continue to push our different narratives, but really educating our youth to the opportunities that are available to them. In this world, but cannabis and other different things. But the real focus is really on trying to empower our community, like I said, through economic development.
Awesome.
And I'm excited, and bro, really take my hat off and thank you for trusting me and this company to want to be a part of, because I know you could have been partner with any company, but being a black-owned company and having someone like you means a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's really gonna allow us to, really allow our voice to really get out there, and I'm really excited about that opportunity to work with you.
Man, and it's definitely mutual, bro. We gonna fuck up the world together. You dig what I'm saying? So also go get your social equity shirts, the Viola a Cool brand collab. We put that, you dig what I'm saying? We put that together over the summer, you know what I'm saying?
Quick too, man. Y'all work, boy. We put a collaboration out to people's hands in like 2 weeks.
That absolutely had to be done. I mean, we both wanted to, we always say we wanted to fuck around. We just wanted to have something, our first, collaborative effort together. So y'all get that right now. Go to their cool website. Now here at expediTIously, we have a tradition. That tradition is a word of the week. Okay, so we're gonna select a word, and the word comes from, I guess, the conversation or inspired by the guest. But this time I say it comes from not necessarily you, but it comes from the world of drugs.
Right.
And the word of the day is synthetic.
Right.
Okay, synthetic means made by chemical synthesis, especially to imitate a natural product. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this in a sentence so people can hear the word and then they go off and use it, pretending they knew it the whole time. Don't give us no credit, but that's all right though. That's what we're here for. Al is a champion for natural and healing cannabis properties. Therefore, Viola doesn't use any synthetic products. You dig what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Hey, look, bro. I appreciate it. Proud to have you as a partner.
Yes, sir.
And proud to be the ambassador of Viola. And we gon' push this shit through the motherfucking clouds. You dig what I'm saying?
Yo, we about to listen.
Make
we about
sure
to
everybody's smoking our shit. We gonna make sure all you motherfuckers smoking our shit.
Straight up. Yo, we about
You
to
know what I'm
rebuild.
saying?
We about to rebuild our community.
If
through
it ain't
cannabis.
Viola, it's the white man's weed.
Exactly. That's it. Gang.
Watch your favorite episodes of expediTIously right now on the expediTIously YouTube page.